Okay, the first analogy that we have to fix for today, or I guess not fix, but finish, says Coke is to cola as Ford to blank. This one's a little bit different. It's not exactly just what is the same, what is an opposite, because of the words that they used here. Coke is a brand, cola is what they make. Ford is also a brand, so I need to finish it with something that Ford makes. What is something that Ford makes? Jadine, what could I write in that blank space? I could write cars. If you wrote down trucks, that's also okay. If you wrote down SUVs, that's also okay. If you wrote down vehicles, it's also okay. Any kind of vehicle could go there. Because Ford makes not just cars, but they also make trucks and different kinds of vehicles as well. Whatever kind of vehicle you came up with that people would normally buy to drive around, put it in there. Any of them would work. Ezekiel, are we on our work? Ezekiel, make sure we're focused. The next analogy. Ran is to walked as blank is to forgot. Bella, what's the missing word? What word did you use? Ran is to walked as blank is to
Remember?
remember. Ran and walked are opposite things. So I need an opposite of forgot. Remember would work perfectly. Okay. Third analogy. Clever is to blank as bunny is to rabbit. Clever is to blank as bunny is to rabbit. Chase. What word belongs in the blank? Smart. Bunny and rabbit are the same, so I need something that means the same as clever. Smart work perfectly. The last analogy for today. Blank is to before as quiet is to noisy. Blank is to before as quiet is to noisy. Christopher, what word do you think I could use to finish it? After. That's a good one. I need something that's the opposite of before because quiet is the opposite of noisy. So after works perfectly. Okay? Like normal, if you didn't get all the analogies, that's okay. I'll go back at the end and but I'll show the whole screen. First, let me grab these circles so we can do the next part. Okay. We have a couple of sentences, and what we have to do is we have to circle the homophone, the one that they should be using in that sentence. Give me just 1 second. The first sentence says, Mom and Dad have new cell phones. Mom and Dad have new cell phones. Alexa.
Circle the one that has CELL.
Very good. So we're looking for this kind of cell, CELL, not the second kind. The second kind is like with money. What about sentence 2? Ethan helped his mom Ethan helped his mom grate the cheese. Bella, what kind of grate do we need?
The second one.
The second one. Very good. This one, the first kind of grate, means that the cheese was like awesome cheese, like really delicious. And it might have been, but that's not what they're saying in the sentence. The second kind of grate, it could mean two things. Number one, like what's happening in this sentence, when you take the cheese and you shred it up so you can sprinkle it on top of whatever you're going to eat. Or it could also mean, if you've ever seen on the roads next to the sidewalks, they have like a bunch of metal bars, so that way when it rains, all the water goes down into, or goes like under the street, so it doesn't stay on top of the street, and that way it doesn't mess up with cars or things like that. That's a grate. They also have them a lot of time, well, it depends on your shower. Some showers have them also where the drain is, where the water goes down. There's like a metal piece there, and it just has a bunch of different lines of metals, and it's to make sure that if you do something like you drop your sponge or you drop a bar of soap or something like that, that it doesn't get stuck into your drain. That the water can go down, but big chunks like the soap or the sponge won't go down into the drain and get stuck. The third sentence. Somehow, the Band-Aid helped to lessen the pain. Which one of those lessons do we need? The first lesson or the second? Bradley, what do you think? First or second lesson?
The second lesson.
The second lesson. First kind of lesson is like what we're doing right now. It's like school. But the Band-Aid doesn't teach pain anything. When you put a Band-Aid on, the Band-Aid doesn't go, okay, pain, here's what happens, okay? When you hurt the people they don't like, it's not trying to teach anything. The second kind of lesson means that it makes it go down or go away or be less. The last one. This is one lesson I will never forget. Which kind of lesson do we need? Bella, what do you think? First lesson or second lesson?
The first one.
The first one. This time they're talking about a lesson that you would learn. So they're saying, I'm never gonna forget what I'm learning right now. Usually people say that after like they make a really big mistake and then they fall down or something. They go, man, I'm not gonna try that again, because they don't want to fall down and get hurt like that again. All right. Our sentence. We need to find all the mistakes that they left, and we need to fix them. 5 states have beaches along the Gulf of Mexico. Honestly, in this sentence, there's not a whole lot of mistakes. There's only 3, but we need to find them so that we can have a perfect sentence. Who can tell me one of the 3 mistakes that they left in this sentence? Okay? What's one mistake that they left in this sentence?
I just noticed. I didn't look at the beginning of the sentence, and it is already capitalized.
You're right. Beginning of the sentence is already capitalized. So that's not one of our mistakes. But they do have
And
mistakes.
the question.
What, Nakai?
And also the question mark.
Yep, there's a punctuation there. Bradley, do you think you know one of the mistakes?
The question mark isn't supposed to be a question mark. It's supposed to be a period.
Very good. So, like Nakai pointed out, A lot of times they forget the punctuation, but they put one here. Problem is they put the wrong kind of punctuation. They're not asking us anything. They're telling us something. So it shouldn't be a question mark. It should be period. Okay, that leaves us with 2 mistakes left. Besides changing the question mark, what's another mistake that they have in that sentence? Bella? What do you think? There's 2 mistakes left.
States is not supposed to be capitalized.
5 should be capitalized because it's the beginning, but states should not. States is not being specific. They don't tell us what states. So it should be lowercase. Okay, that leaves us with only 1 mistake left. What's that one mistake that is still hiding in the sentence? Jadine, what's the last mistake that they have hiding here?
Golf doesn't have to be capitalized.
Gulf does. Gulf is part of the name of this area of water, this body of water. So it definitely should be capitalized, but you're looking in the right place. You're very close to where the answer is or where that last mistake is. We're a little bit off. So you're very close. Jada, what do you think the mistake is? What's the mistake, Jada? That's what it is. Gulf should be capitalized. It is part of the name of that body of water, that place. But of should be lowercase. Remember, even in titles or names, words like of or the, little short articles like that, we don't capitalize them. Those stay lowercase unless they are the very first word of that name or that title. A good example of that is if you go and you look at any of the Harry Potter books, because the Harry Potter books have longer titles. It's always Harry Potter and something, and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Prisoner of Azkaban, whatever. But if you look at the titles, Harry Potter is capitalized, but and lowercase, or like the Prisoner of Azkaban, of is lowercase. So those little articles, those little words there, we leave them lowercase when they're part of a title. That was it. That was all the mistakes they left. So we should have a capital 5, lowercase, states have beaches along the capital Gulf, lowercase, of capital Mexico, and then not a question mark, but period. And Texas is one of those states. Okay. Let me bring over circles. Next part. Circle the correctly spelled word. Okay. So this one, it's a lot like this one. It is a lot like this part up here, where we have to choose which. It's a lot like the other box
You
where we
said
have
I'm
to
on,
choose which word is correct. Yes,
you're on
Alexa.
number 5.
Oh no, I was for a second, but I think I'm on the right one. Yeah. I'm on the right one now. Okay. Sorry about that. So I've got to choose the right word. There are 3 days until Thanksgiving. What kind of days do they need? Okay? The first kind or the second kind? They didn't come through on your microphone, Nakai. Try again. Just type it into the chat, Nakai. Your microphone is fighting with you for a little bit. Write it into the chat. What do you think? First kind or the second kind? Put down a 1 or a 2 into the chat. Okay. The second kind. The first kind, DAZE, that is the kind like when you first wake up, and sometimes when you first wake up, like we don't really know what's going on. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, huh? What? What are we doing? That's that kind of days. Like when you're really sleepy, you don't know what's going on. The second kind of days is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sentence 2. I like to have marshmallows with my hot chocolate. What kind of with is spelled correctly? Bradley, is it the first with or the second with?
Second.
It's the second kind. The first kind would say with, but we just want with. And number 3, where are my socks? Bella, what kind of where should I be using? The first kind or second kind? In this one, I need the first one. I need the first one because, again, look at the word they snuck in there. It has the word here. They're asking for a place. Where are my socks? Are they in my dresser? Are they on my floor? Are they on my bed? Where are they? This kind says were. So we could have used were if the sentence were a little bit different. Like if we said, were my socks on the floor? If we're asking where they were in the past, we could have used that. But for sentence 3, we need this first kind. Okay, last part on my Wednesday page. We have a sentence, and we need to see if it has any mistakes, anything we need to fix. Sentence says, "That's not fair," cried the little toddler. We have A, change that's to that's. Well, they sound really similar. They look really similar. So what's the difference? That's and that's. Kylie, what are they changing with that's and that's? What's the difference, Kylie?
One has what's it called? Um. Uh,
What do you think, Kylie? What is it? What's the difference? That's and that's. Really, really similar. They sound the same. I don't hear a difference at all. Okay, Jadine, think you can help out? What's the difference? That's and that's. Okay, it has an apostrophe. But apostrophes aren't just decoration. It's not just that it looks different. When it has the apostrophe, what does that mean? How does that change it? Or how does that make it different? Alexa, how does it make it different if it has the apostrophe?
it makes it different by saying that's like that is.
Okay, absolutely. If I have the apostrophe S, it could mean that is. Now, it could also mean something else. If it's got the apostrophe S, it could mean something belongs to that. But it could be that is as well. So there's my difference. This kind says that's. This one could mean that is or something belongs to that. B, change fair to fair. Fair to fair. I don't hear any difference. Fair to fair. Who knows what the difference is between fair and fair? Jadine? What's the difference with fair and fair?
The other one means fairy tale, and the other one means it's not fair.
Not that kind. Fairy tale would be its own thing. But you've got the right idea. They both mean different things. So this isn't just spelling. These are two completely different words. Nakai, you have your hand up. What do you think? Think you know the difference? What these two words mean?
I know what the first one is.
Okay. What's the first one?
It's like a Ferris wheel.
Mm,
And it's like
you've got
where
the right
these
idea. The first kind, fair, that's like where they have Ferris wheels and hot dogs and hamburgers and all of that good stuff. That's that kind of fair. The second kind is like when you go to a fair or you go to the movies or anything like that. You know how you have to pay for a ticket? Get in? That's that kind of fair. So the first kind of fair is like with the Ferris wheels and hot dogs and I don't know, funnel cakes and all of that good delicious food. Second kind is like when you pay for a ticket. The first kind could also mean like if it's if it's equal or even for everyone. So the first kind is either that place with all that delicious food or that it's the same for everybody. It's equal and it's even. The second kind just means like when you pay for a ticket. C says to change the exclamation point to a period. So that's just punctuation. They think that there's no reason for the exclamation mark to be there, that no one is shouting or that no one is yelling or excited or surprised or anything like that. And D says that we don't need to change. The sentence is fine the way it is. With that's and the apostrophe, Bella, it's not that it's more than one. Again, when you have the apostrophe S, it could mean two things. Okay, number one, it could mean that is. When you squish those two words together, that's how you get the apostrophe S. The second thing could be if something belongs to that. Like if you say that's lid, like the lid to a jar, that it would belong to that. But who can tell me between our four answer choices, A, B, C, or D, which one do we think is the best? Riley, what do you think? What's your A? Why do you say A? What makes A better? Why do you think we need to fix A?
Because D is wrong because we do need changes.
Okay.
C is also wrong because someone is shouting.
Okay.
That's not fair. B is also wrong because fair does not need to be changed to fair.
Okay.
And A says that because it's that is.
Very good. And I'm glad that you explained all the answer choices too. That, in this case, they're saying that is. Because if I look at what the toddler is crying or like you said, screaming or yelling, that is not fair. So that's what they're trying to say. And since they're squishing the words that and is into one word, I need the apostrophe S. That answer choice A is the one that I want to pick. All right, I'm going to leave up my page. That way, if there's any parts that you're missing, anything you need to catch up with, you can go ahead and do it now.